What is your worst blinded by horniness story of your teenage years? When I was a certain age, a group of my friends were talking about easy ways to score. After a couple of hours of conversation, we came up with the idea of going to the offenders registry, looking up women that had offended near us, and showing up in their place since the address is in the registry. This was in the early days of the internet, so a couple of days after that conversation I pulled up the offenders registry and looked up my options. There was hundreds of men in there, some of which I had seen around town, but only 2 women in total, and only one of those was in walking distance. So I MapQuested, printed her address and picture, and set off to her place. When I get there and see that it was in the projects, I had a thought that this was a terrible idea. I didn't have a plan, I was in the projects, and I had no idea of the dangers I was placing myself in. Nevertheless, I pushed on. I get to the building and go to the 3rd floor and knock on the door. My heart is racing and my knick-knack is throbbing. She opens the door, a very pronounced smell of Pall Malls comes out. I gaze upon this specimen, greasy-looking, white lady in her 40s, house clothes with stains, and the cigarette smell very strongly in her scraggly brown hair. When she said, "How can I help you?" I just said, "Ma'am, I don't want to cause you any trouble, but I just walked 7 miles because I looked you up in the offenders registry, hoping to get offended by you." The lady turned red in anger and shoved me in her apartment. She sat me in her couch and gave me a long speech about being safe and how stupid I was. When she was done, me still being blinded by my hormones asked, "So can I at least get something done to me? I did walk this long." The lady gets mad again and tells me, "Is this what you want?" And proceeds to do stuff to me. I came to the realization very quickly into the process, and then when I had my post-macadamia nut clarity, I realized how gross this lady was, and how absolutely wrong I was. A couple of weeks go by and back in school with my friends the conversation pops up again. This time I just tell them to do it yourself and forget about it.